Hey there, everybody. Professor Cloud here with the second part of Scenario 5 in Professor Builds a Planet Zoo career. This one is working in the Great Caldera Safari Park, which is based in Africa. So lots of typical African animals, zebras, giraffes, elephants, hyenas, and so on, as well as a number that I had never even heard of before, of course. That has been one of the great things that I'm loving about this game, for me personally at least, is it's a great learning experience. I'm learning about new animals. I'm learning about how they survive, how they can potentially live together in harmony in certain scenarios and things like that. It's really been a lot of fun for me. But I love to learn. I come from a family of teachers, and that's a big part of being a teacher as well as learning. So anyway, I don't mean to be up on my soapbox here. We're going to jump back in. We're not going to take very long in this particular last part. We're not going to try and get to the silver and the gold like we do, because each of the bronze, silver, and gold had the same type of objectives. They were, get the education level to a certain point, get the satisfaction or the number of visitors to a certain point, and that was it. That's all that each of the three were, and they just kept increasing. Once I understand what it takes to make that happen, I feel like that's where I've learned enough for the scenario, and we can move on to the next one. So there is one last thing in this one that we're going to do, which is to build out a new cheetah habitat. Let's go ahead and jump back in and do that. Okay, so we reached bronze tier, which was, and actually I'm going to pause here. Release one of any habitat species to the wild, which we absolutely did. We had gotten a number of births of zebras, as well as the alpine dog, or not alpine, one of the types of dogs that we have in the habitats. And we released one of each of those because we had had a number of births. We want to keep the populations to a certain size. We did complete our transport ride that is running all throughout the park. We have increased the education rating to 1.2 stars, and that was a huge learning experience for me, because I, based on the previous scenarios, had only really seen the TVs and the speakers that were giving education once you told it what kind of a species you were going to tell it to teach about. But in fact, there's also educators that you can hire, and they have certain points where they can actually provide education about a type of animal as well. So that was really, really interesting. Plus, the educators, in addition to having those education stands, they also can provide roaming tours throughout the park as well. So that also increases your education rating. So all kinds of different ways. And then, as you can see here, we had at least 1,400 guests. Now, in the silver, we needed to release 4 of any habitat species to the wild. Again, already done that. Breed 3 new habitat animals of different species. We did do that as well. As I said, we've had a lot of births in this park since I started. We increased the education rating to 1.7 stars. So the only thing we have left to do is adopt and place 2 new cheetahs. So we need to build a completely new habitat, and we need to build it someplace where the visitors are going to be able to see it. So there's really only 2 places in my mind that we can do that. The problem is no matter where we put them, we're going to have power concerns, because the initial design of this park provides very limited power. It provides limited power to this gigantic area here, of course, as you would expect, to the eating area here, to the collection point for the this is a staff area here, and then there's a little bit of power that's available here. That's it. The rest of the park has no power. Like, if I were to try and put something here, there's no power here. So I do have to take that into account when putting any new habitat, so that we can put new education stands, so that we can put, well, so that the gate will work and things like that. I'm actually thinking that we will do it here, because this is a nice open piece of land. Let's bring up the Zoopedia real quickly for the... Actually, let me bring up exactly which... Let's do it from here. It's better from here. Yeah. Now, they had cheetahs. They had a single cheetah. Am I just not seeing it? Yeah, I'm just not seeing it. So this has been one frustration I've had with this game with respect to the career scenarios. Obviously, this wouldn't be true in the big open option, but you know they're telling us we have to adopt 2 cheetahs, but there are no cheetahs in the animal trading center. There's exhibit trading. It's in a separate thing now. Oh, the most recent update to the game separated out exhibit animals from regular animals. They were together at one point. Do a quick refresh of the list. See if that helps. Nope. Alright, well, let me go ahead and bring up Zoopedia and type in cheetah. I was worried that there were multiple species that were available. Okay, so here are our cheetahs. They have required of 705 square meters of land. They have no climbing requirement, so we don't necessarily have to keep the trees in the habitat. I will, though. I will make sure to include some trees in the habitat. They have no water requirement, which I find interesting. And no deep water requirement. Temperature should be perfectly fine. This was the one that I was surprised by, was that the boundary requirement didn't need to be any higher than 2 meters. That could be your minimum. Now, I will go above that. I will probably go to 6. But I just found that very, very interesting. Then if we look at species data, so we want to have a group size of 1 to 3, so 1 female, 2 males. Seeing as we only need to have 2 based on the objective, then that should be fine. Then this gives us information about how they will grow and reproduce and things along those lines. And if we look at our research status, of course, we don't have anything at the moment. We do have sprinkler and processed meat, but we don't have anything beyond those. I should probably go ahead and start getting one of our vets. Matter of fact, I'm going to go ahead and do that now. Researching the cheetah. Except for that, I can't do that until I've got a cheetah in the park. Wow, that is very, very annoying. Okay, alright, let's go ahead and start building out the habitat, but are putting in power. I need to figure out where I want to put power, and then we'll figure out. So, remember I said this was another area I was considering? Unfortunately, the problem with this area is I have no way of getting staff here. But there is power out here. Let me bring up the heat map. So there is power here. So we could make the cheetahs only available to those who are on the tour. I would just have to figure out how to get staff to the door. Alright, let me remove the heat map again. I'm wondering if maybe I can put the cheetahs here. Keep the trees around the power plant, or around the power. That might be a possibility. It's either that or we put it here, and I put the power over on this side as well as the gate. Because this is also staff path. Because unfortunately this power doesn't reach over to this side. Alright, you know what? I'm going to stick to this side here. Let's go ahead and build out a new habitat. Actually, gotta do barriers first. What kind of barriers are we using? I don't see the barrier that we're using. Yeah, I don't see the barrier type that we're using. All right. I'm going to start it here. And then run it right along here. Okay. That's good. A few different trees. We can put the gate over here. We can put the gate right here. Wooden habitat gate. We'll put that right there. Okay, hold on. Right there. All right. All right, we're going to call this the cheetah habitat. Okay. Then I want to go back to barriers. And we're going to raise it. To 6 feet, 6 meters. Okay. Then I'm also going to make sure that we have... Okay, that put windows everywhere. Okay, I don't want that. Climb proof. Here we go. Okay, and I want climb proof. Right. I think it's right. Okay. Alright, that ought to be good. Now we just need to put some windows. So let's go window, glass, glass, glass. Alright, there's the gate. And we'll make this glass also. Okay, there we go. That works. I think. Alright. Let's see what we've got here as far as... That's maintenance. Doesn't show me how big it is. Oh, there it is. 2,500 square meters. So we've got more than enough space. That was the thing that I was concerned about. Alright, we need to think about maintenance. I also need to think about... Alright, let's see. Heaters and coolers, beds and shelters. Alright, let's start with beds and shelters. And we'll put in the species. Okay. We're only going to have 2. think I'm going to put the species, the habitat back here. Okay. And then habitat bedding. Okay. Alright, that's good. Enrichment items, we definitely want to put a sprinkler. Put another one over here. Scratching tree. Let's put some scratching trees out here. Okay. Good. Food enrichment. We apparently don't have any. We don't have anything researched yet. Food and water. There's only going to be 2. I don't think we need a... Well, I'm still going to go with a big one anyway. Alright, there's a big food tray. Large water bowl. Okay, I think that should do it. We still have education that I want to put in at the very least, you know, the TVs. And I think I should be fine with that. As a matter of fact, let's double check power. Oh, man. It doesn't spread far enough. We're going to have to use... I'm going to have to do an education stand with another educator. That's fine. I'll actually hire 2 educators. One for roaming and one for the specific spot. Man. Okay. All right. Well, let's go ahead and hit play. And... bring up animal trading. There's still no cheetahs in here. How am I supposed to put cheetahs in if they're not going to put them on my list? Low welfare. Last drink cleanliness. Ooh. That's not good. Huh. Yeah, that's not good at all. Yeah, it's all the same problem. Animal's last drink was very dirty. There is a facility. That's temperature regulator, water treatment. It's going to have to be net. Yeah, that's bad. Make sure it's nowhere else. Yeah, we're going to have to put power over here. Best bet is, I think, to put it over here. Okay, and then paths. Staff path. We've been using... yeah, this one. And then Ores. Okay, hold on. Want okay, that ought to be good. Not great, but it'll work. All right, I need to add. All right, let me actually, before I even do that, water. Treats bodies of water. Do I need to specify the body of water? No. Okay, it is. It is doing the right thing at the. Okay, good. It's doing it automatically. I haven't been taught about water cleanliness yet, so I didn't know what to do. All right, so there's that. I'm gonna need to create a new work zone. So we've got the entrance area, unless we edit this work zone. Yeah, let's edit the work zone. Okay, there we go. For now, it's not the perfect solution. And by the way, if I were setting up the zoo by myself from scratch, I would not make this. I would make probably 3 zones out of this, really, to be honest. All right, and then I'm gonna hire a new mechanic. Drop him right there. Put him in the entrance area. Okay. Go ahead and hit play. I also want to take a quick look at the power map. Yeah, because the good thing now is that I can put a powered education right there at the very least. But only when they actually give me... cheetah. Here we go. Adopt. Send to zoo. Protesters have arrived? They're protesting the giraffe. Oh, because of the dirty water. Yeah. Yeah, it's getting clean, though, so that's good. The cleanliness is going up. I still don't like the fact that I have yet to see a single person inside our tour. Water treatment's inaccessible. Oh. Okay. Yeah, I see why. All right, I'm going to have to... Okay, that's not what I want. That's not what I want either. Alright, paths. Okay, hold on. I think it might be... Move. There we go. Oh, crap. Perfect. Okay. Nope, not paths. I want barriers, and I want you. I don't have any money. Where did all the money go? How did I get to... I don't understand that at all. I am so confused. There's our cheetah. I don't know what cost us so much money. Alright, there's one of our cheetahs. We need to have 2. Let me... Nope, that's not what I want. Facilities, education. Yeah. Okay. Good. Alright, the money's coming back up. I don't know what cost 10 grand, or actually I think it was closer to 15 grand. Great, all of our giraffes are diseased. Let's see if I can get another cheetah in here. Yep, there we go. Actually, what did I get first? Adult male. Okay, so let me get a female. Adopt. Send to zoo. Okay. And then as soon as that's in, I think we can go ahead and wrap up the episode. Because I think the objectives for the gold tier are the exact same thing. Yeah, releasing more habitat species, breeding 6 new habitat animals of different species, which I think we've actually already accomplished. Increase the education rating to 2.2. Increase conversation rating to 4.5. That one's actually new. And then adopt and place 2 new West African lions, as well as 2,600 guests. So it's just continuing on with what we're already doing. Canine wow, they've got... Because I didn't put it through quarantine. Alright, one quick thing that I want to do, I forgot to change, is vet research. Let's move Carol to the cheetah. And we're going to send... Oh, never mind. I was getting ready to say I'm going to send...
Good to see the breeding and release programs are going from strength to strength. That's the ticket. And I also see you've adopted a number of cheetahs. You're you're going to have your work cut out keeping them happy. Cheaters rarely prosper. Sorry, I've been sitting on that ever since you got them. Right. I should get back to packing. Now, where did I put those snow boots?
I was going to send her for training. Alright, so we've got ourselves a new habitat. What I think I will also go ahead and do, especially now that my money's back up a little bit, is put in another animal talk point. And we'll put it right here near the window. We will then hire a new educator. Where are the educators in here? There we go. And again, entrance area. Cheetah. Oh, it has to be near power. Really? It is near power. I don't understand. Yeah, so the numbers are definitely going up. The number of animal problems is going down. Animal Talk 5 is without power. I don't understand why it's without power when it's showing that it has light. There's our second cheetah. Alright, that's good. Alright, let me see if I can move it. Maybe to there. Oh, that... Oh, there's why. Yeah, it doesn't. Alright, I wonder then... Let's see if I can put it... Right there. There we go. Says no educator assigned. I can't remember. I apologize if it happens automatically or if I have to do it. Oh, that's right. I have to remove these. Okay, I think that should take care of it. I think I just heard protesting. Yep, there's protesters. Oh, man. First time I've seen those. All right, let's take a quick look at the objectives for gold just to see where we are. So we've already bred the 6 new habitat species. We've already increased the conservation rating to 4.5 stars. Increased the education rating to 2.2. It wouldn't take that much to get to 2.0. To 2.2. We're already at 2.0. We would need to release 4 more species, which, considering the breeding that we've got going on, I don't think that would be a problem. Actually, there's our increased education rating. We've already hit that. So, yeah, there's really nothing new to focus on to get to gold for this particular career scenario. I've learned I think I've probably learned the most in this scenario than I've learned in any others so far. It's been great. I'm really enjoying... I've really enjoyed this scenario. I would probably, just so that we're talking about it and have an idea, I'm not 100% sure where I would put the lions. So this is the... That's just a barrier. That's actually not a habitat. It almost looks like... No. I don't know what is going on there. Yeah, there's really no place else that I could put lions. The lions would have to go out here on the tour. Of course, the problem with that being that the tour doesn't have people on it. But yeah, that's where we would have to put the lions. It's the only place that we have space. And just so that we know, let me see. Okay, the objective is for West African lions. All right, do we already... I think I saw a lion here in the list. Well, I don't now. All right, let's bring up Zoopedia and take a quick look at the requirements. There it is. Critically endangered. Wow. According to this, there's only 250 in the wild. All right, so another 700-meter habitat. No climbing requirements, no water requirements of any kind. Very, very similar to the cheetah. They don't have the climbing ability, though, of the cheetah. So the chances, like, I wouldn't need a 6-meter habitat. I could probably go with a 4-meter habitat. What we would probably want to have, because it would be out on the tour, we would probably want the entire front to be windowed. 2 to 30. 1 male, 29 females. Yeah. Yeah. Too much infighting if there's too many males. And then we've got the processed meat, the large ball, and the sprinkler. Large snowball, scratching trees. So we've got some things already researched. And no interspecies. That's kind of... these are animals that are very aggressive, so I'm not surprised that they don't have interspecies. We would still, though, have a problem. Like, if I put it out on the tour, I would kind of have to put it over on this side so that the staff pathing could get to the gate. Yeah. I'm not terribly happy about putting it out on the tour when I've looked at every single vehicle and there's not been a single person in the vehicle. Education is low. Thirst. Huh. Education is low. Well, part of that's because of lack of power. I will put one other quick thing here for education. I want to put another conservation education board. Let's see. Poaching and exotic pet trade. Yep. Considering the cheetahs, I think that's a apt set of education. Okay. Oh, we're not doing any marketing. Okay. if I shouldn't just go ahead and do it. Oh, there's people. There's actually somebody in that vehicle. How tall is this? Doesn't actually say. Alright, one quick thing I'm going to do. Let me see how our animals... Because we've got a lot of animals now. Zebras, we've got 3, 4, 8. Giraffes, we've got 6. Hyenas, we've got 4. Oh, it's the spring... Yeah, we need to get rid of some springboks. Alright, let's... You... And you... We're going to release into the wild. Okay. And then I think we still need 2 more for the gold. Nope, that was it. No, we didn't. We need 2 more. One thing I wanted to take a look at, because I just noticed that we have no stars here for marketing. Do we even have access to marketing? I have no idea. Oh, here we go. Finances, marketing, print poster campaign, print cereal box adverts, newspaper adverts. Cereal box adverts. Okay. See if I can get us up to the 2,600 that we need, or whatever the number is. You know what? Let's go ahead and put in that in the lions. Let me pause and figure out how the best way to do this is. Barriers, wood. Start with wood first. No, that's not what I wanted. There we go. Okay. We'll go down here. Okay, there we go. That actually gives them water, has them completely surrounded. Okay, there's a gate. Actually, I think I need to put the gate here. Path. There we go. Not pretty, but it left the tree there, so that's nice. Alright. We've now got a new habitat. I'm going to call this the lion habitat. We're going to edit the barrier. We're going to go up to 4 meters. Whoa. Oh, we can't. 2.85 as far as I can go. All right. Well, it'll have to do. Okay, now then. I am going to blast. That's right, I forgot I can do big, long selections. Okay. That's all glass. That's good. Alright, next is then habitat. We want to remove the cheetah. We want to put in the West African lion. Okay, large bowl. Large food tray, I should say. Large water bowl. Okay. Beds and shelters. We'll put in the exact same thing. Okay. Habitat bedding large. Okay. Food and water, we already did that. Enrichment, alright. Ball. I don't know that we need to even put in any trees, but I'll put one in anyway, seeing as that's considered a scratching post. Alright, I think that's all that we need for that. The only thing left is the animals. Okay, here we go. West African, adopt, send to zoo. Alright, I need to go and do the work zones. Edit. Probably need to hire another vet. Carol's doing the research, so all right, let's go. Yeah, at the moment, it's pretty simple and straightforward. To build out habitats now. Especially once you know what's required. That was a big drop in cash. I guess the cash doesn't get removed until after I unpause that, or it's an annual drop. Like everyone just got paid type of a thing. don't know how we're going to put education for the West African lions in here. There's our first lion. Yeah, there we go. We're going to need to get some research going for that, too. Why is... Oh, Carol's still doing cheetah stuff. Okay. Oh, boy. And there he goes a-running. Good. Well, actually, now that I think about it, we can still put education monitors along the windows. You just can't stand there and watch them, unfortunately. All right, let me see if we can get our second. Nope. No West African lions. Okay, we're back in the black. See about our animals. The African wild dogs aren't mating all that much. We do have a 2-year-old zebra. Let's go ahead and release you. Oh, I can't. Juvenile animals cannot be released to the wild. Oh, they're not considered past juvenile yet. I see that now. Interesting. Apparently they don't come out of juvenile until 3. Yeah. Huh. Same thing with giraffes. It looks like. Wow, that's interesting. Whereas the Springboks, as long as you're over a year old, you're good to go. Oh my god, we've got way too many Springboks. Okay, yeah, it's time to get rid of some Springboks here. 1, 2... Three. Okay. That gets that objective complete. We only need one more West African lion. And then, wow, we just got another huge drop in funds. What? I don't understand. What is happening? It might be time to increase $26 for adults, $26 for children. Dangerous animal has escaped. Oh, yeah. Except for I can't capture them. I know why. I forgot to set the barriers to be unclimbable. Yeah, I forgot to do that during the purchase process. Alright, well, we know what I need to do. It's just going to take time for things to balance out. So I'm not going to worry about it right now. I think we're just going to go ahead and call this the end of the episode. We made it through silver, and that was the primary goal. I feel comfortable moving on to the next episode. This is one of those scenarios where if I were doing this from scratch, I would do this a lot slower, a lot more meticulously, to allow for good cash growth as well as good understanding of how the animals are going to react. And this was just a dumb mistake on my part that I forgot to change the barriers to have climb proof on one side. I had done it with the cheetahs, knowing that the cheetahs would absolutely do that. I didn't do it with the lion. So that's my fault. The other thing is we still haven't really learned enough about how the finances work, which is why I've been seeing these huge drops. I mean, I saw it was a $15,000 drop in funds that put me in the red, and I don't completely know why. Obviously, there's some kind of a monthly expense that hits at the very top of the month. That is what is causing it. But I don't know, why we are not able to overcome that. Or did the game put us in a scenario where, because of the additional habitats, that's going to incur, of course, additional expense. I also, therefore, had to hire additional people. That's additional expense. We had one new educator, one new mechanic, one new vet, all during this whole process. Plus, I paid for education for 2 people. Then, of course, now we didn't pay for the animals because we had gotten them via the conservation trading, but using conservation credits. But the habitats themselves, the glass is much more expensive than the standard bamboo wood. I ended up having to put in a treatment plant and a solar power plant over near the water supply for the giraffes because we had bad water. So, all of those things add up over time. Again, I'm enjoying this game. I'm really looking forward to the future scenarios, but we will wrap up this scenario here. This is the second part of scenario 5. We will move on to scenario 6 in the next episode. And as always, if you are enjoying the content, please make sure to hit the like button. Please make sure to hit the subscribe button. And hopefully I will see you next time when Professor builds a Planet Zoo career. Talk to you soon.